Bless your heart.
We have got to change the game, okay? We have got to change up because right now, like just in general, the Western world, right? We have made it okay for us to be so lazy and to look for every possible shortcut known to man, okay? For us to accomplish our goals instead of just doing it the good old fashioned, maybe difficult, but good old fashioned way. So let's take a look at how this might affect us, i.e., you, me, anybody, anybody. God, paralysis outbreak in Europe is tied to what? Stomach Botox procedures. Okay. So, an outbreaks of botulinum poisoning has been traced back to two private hospitals in Turkey where patients underwent a medical procedure intended to help them lose weight. According to a report by the European Centre for Disease Prevention and Control, ECDC, a total of 67 cases of botulism have so far been reported, mostly from Turkey, with a dozen in Germany, one in Austria, and another in Switzerland. Now, no deaths have yet been reported, though some of the more severe cases have been admitted for intensive care treatment. Now, botulism, I mean, I think we all know that, right? By now. I mean, gosh, Botox is so popular. We have to know that botulism is actually a paralytic illness caused by the bacterium Clostridium botulinum, which commonly grows from spores in oxygen-free environments like that of cans of beans swelling up in the back of the pantry. Yeah. So in milder cases, it can cause blurred or double vision, slurred speech, nausea, or diarrhea. More severe poisoning can prevent breathing, with death occurring in 5 to 10% of cases. The offensive nerve-blocking toxin poison churned out by the tiny microbe has, however, found a use in recent years as a medication, obviously. Injecting carefully measured, or not, doses of the neurotoxin into different parts of the body can be a handy way for trained medical specialists to switch off targeted muscles responsible for pain or cosmetic problems. Let's be real, we hear this all the time for cosmetic problems, very much less for pain, but fine. Readily associated with cosmetic procedures that prevent skin from wrinkling, Botox treatment has a variety of other applications, from easing chronic migraines to preventing excess sweating in areas like the armpits. Let's be real. For people who really need this on a medical level, because of the cosmetic applications, the cost has ballooned, has soared so dramatically that for most people, it's entirely out of reach to pay for this on a more medical level. Let's be real. Now, following promising results in animal experiments in the early 2000s, botulinum toxin A, or BTXA, injections into the stomach wall via an endoscope have become a means of slowing digestion and holding on to that full feeling just a little bit longer. An increasing number of clinics around the world are providing the procedure, sometimes called stomach Botox or gastric Botox treatments, which so far appear to have been relatively safe option, though questionable in their long-term effectiveness as an aid in weight loss. Okay? Of course, when you're dealing with one of the world's deadliest poisons, absolute safety can be difficult to guarantee. Duh. There isn't a lot of wiggle room in calculating a safe and effective dose of BTXA, which is considered to be lethal beyond a nanogram per kilogram of body mass. Nanogram per kilogram. Okay, botulinum toxin is in fact made up of several different substances, each unique in its potency, so striking the right balance is important when cooking up a standardized medication. Needless to say, it's a recipe best left to approved manufacturers. Well, it's hard to know what went wrong. to cause this latest outbreak. I mean, among the 63 cases with sufficient details, 60 are known to have had the procedure at a private hospital in Istanbul. A further 3 were linked with a second private hospital in the Turkish city of Izmir. They all received their treatment sometime between the 22nd of February and the 1st of March of this year. Turkish authorities claim the products used in the treatment were licensed, though weren't approved for use on the stomach paralyzing procedure. Investigations are currently underway on each of the clinics, which have meanwhile had their activities suspended. The ECDC is encouraging anybody who traveled to Istanbul and Izmir for intragastric botulinum neurotoxin treatment to seek medical advice if they experience general weakness or difficulty breathing or swallowing. If you live alone and you've done it, please call somebody. Those suffering the effects, even if you think you're fine right now, call somebody before you're paralyzed. Okay, thanks. Those suffering from the effects of the paralyzing toxin could take months to fully recover. An outbreak of botulism caused by a counterfeit BTX-A medication in Egypt in 2017 left at least 5 people hospitalized. Even after being treated with antitoxins, the patients in that case still took up to 12 weeks to fully recover. Again, we're skipping cutting corners, whatever, right? So first we're taking the diabetes medication, Ozempic. We're so desperate to clamp down over here on just the sales of Ozempic, right? Now, for those of you who didn't know what Ozempic was, I'm sure you thought it was like a weight loss drug of some sort. It's not. It's actually something meant to help treat diabetics, right? But the cost of this drug has now soared and the availability of this drug is near nil. So now hospitals and doctors don't have access to this drug that they desperately need to treat patients who actually need this as a medication for survival. Right? So now people are turning to other markets, like the Canadian market. And so now Canada is needing to clamp down and is trying to restrict sales to non-Canadians, or they're wanting to restrict sales to, which is what should happen, to non-diabetics, because it's a medication for diabetics, right? And sure, the rich, wealthy, lazy 1%ers, they take this so they can drop all this weight in 2 days, 2 weeks, whatever, right? Everyone wants to follow suit. Oh, we'll just do a little Botox and then we'll never be hungry. And that's what they're doing. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely asinine, right? It's incredibly dangerous, right? And of course, because people can't afford, right? They're not Gwyneth Paltrow or whoever. They don't have millions of dollars. They can't afford it. They can't. So you know what ends up happening? Stories like we just read today. Stories like kids and adults and older people are not getting medications that they require. Young, dumb people are flying to places like Turkey because, hey, they can get that stomach Botox at a fraction of the cost. And then, you know what? They're turning up paralyzed and severely injured, luckily still alive. Maybe this time, we'll see. Okay, too many shortcuts. Too many shortcuts. What we need is some common sense living, some common sense education on what we're supposed to eat, how to lose weight, what a calorie deficit is, what a calorie deficit is not, what counts as calories, so on and so forth, what healthy weight loss looks like, that you can actually lose weight, what does actually work, what doesn't. Like, we need this to now be common sense. I understand that capitalism doesn't want people to be informed because then they can't sell them on the next crash diet and whatnot, but come on, this is crazy. This is crazy and this is dangerous.
Bless your heart.